Joe, could you just talk about some of the offensive struggles in the first half and, especially the inability to get the ball to the wide receivers?
Well, obviously, I think we started well. We didn't have to throw the ball in the first drive with the block punt and, being able to run the ball and get a really good start going. Um, the interception I threw was really bad. I threw it way behind Crowder. I didn't get my hips out there. And, at best, you should, at worst, at best, we should have had probably a completion maybe to the slant. And at worst, we should have had an incompletion over Crowder's head. And instead, they end up with 7 points on the board. So I think that obviously hurt us, and then we just weren't able to we thought we could run the ball early and kind of take some gimme completions to move the chains. And we just weren't able to do that. We were shooting ourselves in the foot and not giving ourselves good chances. And we just never got to the point like we did in the second half where we were able to get to some of our stuff that kind of stretched the field a little bit and put some pressure on their secondary.
Joe, when you got into halftime and realized that none of your wideouts had a catch, how shocking was that to you? And what dictated that? I know you didn't have a lot of attempts.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't even know if we realized that. I mean, I know I didn't realize that specific stat. We only threw the ball probably 8 times in the first half. And like I said, we felt like in order to kind of take care of their rush, we felt like we really had to run the ball early. And like I said, they're a defense that kind of spot drops, and we felt like we could take some underneath just guaranteed completions early on in the game, and that didn't happen. So I think in the second half we just made the decision to kind of attack them and start to make it happen for ourselves anyway.
Did you not see the DB on that first pass on the pick six?
No, like I said, it was just a simple, drag slant, and I kind of threw it flat-footed and just threw it way behind Crowder, and he wasn't 10 yards deep dropping in the flat. He was kind of running with him, and he had his eyes on the ball way before Crowder did. I threw it way behind. It was really just a bad physical throw.
Joe, we were just talking to Frank Gore a few minutes ago, and someone asked him about the prospect of going 0-16, and it kind of brought a pained look to his face. And he goes, "If this is my last year, there's no way I can go out like something like that." Can you talk as an older player, not to say that you're going to retire after this year, but just having to deal with that possibility at this stage of your career?
Well, I think obviously the fact that you're answering the question, it's obviously in the back of people's heads, but we're fighting the battle every day to stay confident and to keep our heads held high and come out here and play football games the way we know how to. So we just got to keep doing that, keep focusing on the day to day, and we got to have faith that we have the guys that get it done, and one of these days we'll look up at the scoreboard and we'll have a victory at the end of 4 quarters.
Joe, obviously, nobody plans on a year like this. I just wonder, I know when we spoke to you when you first got signed and even when you first started, your first game, that you talked about wanting to be a starter again in this league. And I just wonder at 0-4 now as a starter with this group, where you fear that maybe takes you, by the time this season's over.
Well, I'm not really worried about it. I'm not thinking about what comes for the future. I'm trying to play the best football that I can play and help our team win. And, you can't really, a lot of those decisions are not made by myself anyway. But I'm going to keep my head down and keep playing, the best football that I can play. And who knows where that takes me.
And speaking to a number of your teammates, they say that effort has never been the issue. It comes down to execution. What do you guys take out of these last 2 games where you guys were so close to victories against the Patriots and now the Chargers?
I think this one's a little different than the last one, but listen, we can obviously play with teams, if confidence is lacking, which, listen, it's tough for it not to be. We have to definitely find ways to keep ourselves going. But I think you can definitely see that we should have no lack of confidence. We can definitely go out there and compete to win these football games. And we just need to have that mindset from the very first whistle. We need to start believing that it can be done. And the only way to do that is to play good football and prove it to yourself. So I think we had a lot of things that we can use to build off of over the last 2 weeks. But at some point, we just got to make sure we make it happen.
I know Chris Herndon has kind of struggled all year, kind of getting involved in the passing game. And he had that drop today. But can that long catch and that touchdown be something that gets him going for the rest of the year?
Yeah, I think so. Listen, Chris has a lot of ability. It's just like everybody else. You're fighting the battle with yourself to go out there and be able to do it. And it's not like we're going out there and you're actively thinking about some of the things that go wrong. It just happens because we're probably not quite mentally aggressive enough. So I think the more that he can make some of the plays like he made today, it's proof to himself. It shows himself, it shows his brain, it shows his mind that he did it. So it gives you that memory, and it allows you to kind of store it away for the next time. So all those things are going to help him. He's a young player with a ton of ability. He just needs to keep doing what he did today.
Take a couple more for Joe.
How did you feel about the safety at the end of the game with only 1 second remaining, with the game being close?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's good football by them. I mean, I've been a part of a game before that you do that. They really have all the ability in the world there to kind of hold for as long as they want to and run as much clock off that way. We had a play drawn up on the sideline, and if we got the ball back, but obviously when they did that, it made it tough for us to do that. Your best chance kind of becomes with Braxton maybe returning the kick.
You guys have the Dolphins coming up next, division rival, team you already lost to this season. What are you expecting as far as attitude, as far as preparation for this game to try to get that first win of the year?
Well, listen, I'm expecting guys to come in and attack, practice like we have all year. I think that we have a good opportunity. It's a team that, is in our division. We should know what they're going to do to us. We've played them once already. They're a good physical, aggressive football team. So we're going to have to be on our stuff. But I think that we've definitely found some things over the last couple of weeks since the last time we've played these guys that we can build on and use against them. So I think guys are going to come in ready and excited, to get a victory.